What do we have here? We got level 6 Quake. Ooh, level 7 Fire. That's something I want. If you get the crown early, like if you find it somewhere, that's another good thing to get, because level 8 exit. So exit and warp are both out of our range, basically. Ugh, this white mage is gonna be dead weight with these spells. Unless we get Cure 4 is off the table. Heal 2 is still on the table, like a really low level Heal 2. Or a really low level Fade. This is alright. We'll take... Oh, we'll definitely take this. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna take... Maybe not the heal spell. Harm 4, definitely. I don't know what other heal 1 white magic is, level 1 white magic is out there. But low level Nuke and Fade are somewhere in this game. Or maybe not. Maybe they're not. Bane is at the proper level. Rub is not going to be useful at that level. What do we have here? No tents still. We're going to go ahead and buy... all of our heal potions. I don't want to spend much more gold than that until I see the weapon shop. Because a good weapon for Lars would smooth things over. Oh man, killer armor shop. A++ wood shop again. And that's exactly what we needed right there. You know, I'm going to give that dagger to Sam? Okay. So, an early TNT means you can skip the Marsh Cave for sure. An early crown, whether you find it in the Temple of the Fiends or Matoya's Cave or the Dwarf Cave, opens up some more possibilities, because that means you can now get treasure boxes out of the Elf Castle, Canaria Castle, more in the Temple of the Fiends, and the Dwarf Cave, and Astus's Castle has 3 treasures, which might be worth checking. We have to go to the Marsh Cave. We don't have a choice. Oh, I should have bought more cabins. I'm going to buy more cabins. Gonna buy more cabins. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna buy more cabins, and I am gonna buy that heal spell, I think. Yeah. So yeah, early TNT or early crown are both nice finds. Because we didn't get either, we do have to go... Oop, wrong shop. We do have to go into the Marsh Cave. However, the important item in the Marsh Cave is usually hidden way down on basement level 3 and is guarded in a chest with wizards. That might not necessarily be the case anymore. I don't have money to buy more cabins now. I can buy a couple. That was a house, not a cabin, Brickroad. Alright, we should be able to get to the Marsh Cave pretty easily with these cabins. And I want to save my spell charges. Any undead we encounter, I'll fight, because I've got high-level harm spell. I'm not worried about dying, because I've got a low-level life spell. But I think I've only got, like, 2 charges of it? Oh, chance to strike first. That's what I like to see. So we are going to fight Astus, because we do need to get the crown and go through that whole training sequence eventually. So we do need to fight Astus at some point. I don't know if I want to take this death. I guess we will. I mean, I guess there's really nothing else I can do about it. Herp derp. So there are 2 dungeons in the game that are completely skippable in many runs. The Ice Cave and Castle Ordeals, because the tail and the floater are randomized around. Is this an unrunnable fight now? My goodness. I guess that's one of the bug fixes they applied, was running works now. It's actually based on your luck, which means thieves are good at something. I don't know. We're going to run from all these fights, I think. I don't want to fight any of these guys. I considered it, but... So what they've done is there's options in the randomizer, which I have unchecked, called incentivize those 2 dungeons. Which means you have to go to either Castle Ordeals or the Ice Cave, or maybe both. But I have those unchecked, so if we're lucky, we won't have to go to those dungeons. The Marsh Cave is the 3rd dungeon that, if you're lucky, you might be able to just skip through. There might not be anything useful here, but only if you get early TNT or crowns somewhere else. Because we've checked literally every single box in the game that we can reach, the Marsh Cave is guaranteed to have something. So here we are. None of these guys poisoned. I'm going to take this fight. I think I have a house. If I have a house, I can waste all these charges of Lit 2 on this floor. Go outside. I'm sorry, Lit 3. Ooh, I'm better off than I thought. Go outside, refresh my magic charges, then come back in if I've got to go to the bottom floor. Marsh Cave has 3 treasure floors, but... yeah, I've got a house. But all of the treasure boxes on the 2nd floor are mimics of treasure boxes on this floor. So if there's 4 boxes up here, one of which is unique. What that basically means is some dungeons have treasure boxes in 2 different locations, but they're really the same treasure box. So if you open one and then go to the other one, it'll say it's empty even though you haven't looted it yet. Marsh Cave has 3 of those. All 3 are on this floor, but there's also a 4th treasure box, which is why I'm opening them here and not going lower down. How nasty are crawls? Looks like we're okay. Let's get out of here. I'm trying to also kind of keep in mind like which monsters are worth fighting for the experience, and bones just don't cut it. We've only got so many Lit 3 charges. Hey, there we go. We're done with the Marsh Cave. We can leave now. And Opal Gauntlets, which I can't equip yet. Not until class change. But we don't even have to go to the lower floor. We're done here. But the strategy to checking all the treasure boxes, because that's what the game is about now, is getting all the treasure boxes, is know where the highest concentration of treasures are and know which ones are duplicates. You have to go to the top floor of the Marsh Cave because one of those treasures is unique. It might be a duplicate of one of the treasures on the lowest floor, but I'm not sure. But by going to the top floor, you can skip all the treasures on the 2nd floor. Of course, the bottom floor of the Marsh Cave is just that horrible 4x4 grid of rooms, and it's a gigantic floor. This was a pretty tepid Marsh Cave as it goes. You can come into the Marsh Cave and have monsters with terrible attacks, but it looks like nothing is as crazy as imps or pirates yet. Looks like the game has been pretty nice in that regard so far. So what this means is we can leave the new BC now. We don't have to check the rest of the Marsh Cave. There might still be something down there. The crown might be down there. The floater might be down there. Anything could be down there. I don't know. There's just no way of knowing. But what we've done here is we can get out of the new BC. That gets us access to a few more shops. I'm going to take this fight. These guys poison, but I've got the Pierce spell, and I've got lots of Pierce potions. And the experience isn't terrible at level 6. We have more shops we can check. We're going to get 2 more white and black magic shops in Melman and Crescent Lake. Weapon and armor shops are less useful, or less exciting, but you can find good stuff in there. None of the weapons or armor that are typically not for sale are for sale in Randomizer. For example, we're not going to come across a weapon shop with a Mazmune for sale. We might come across a treasure box somewhere with a Mazmune in it. I'll take one Asp, why not? But what we get by being able to leave the new BC are those extra shops. We can get the canoe because there's a flag in Randomizer that allows you to get the canoe without fighting Lich. We do have the ability... I'm so close to an ant, I might as well just use this. We do have the ability to check the top floor of the Earth Cave if we want, and maybe I will. There are quite a few treasure boxes on the top floor, but I don't want to go deep down into the Earth Cave if I don't have to. But the big prize is the volcano. And this is hilarious to me because typically in vanilla Final Fantasy, the volcano is the least useful dungeon in the game. You have to go through the Marsh Cave, the Earth Cave, and the Ice Cave in vanilla. You don't have a choice. You have to. You've got to do the Marsh Cave to leave the Newbie Sea area. You've got to do the Ice Cave to get the floater. You've got to do the Marsh Cave. I'm sorry, the Earth Cave to get the canoe. Otherwise, you can't progress anywhere in the game. Oh, I didn't want to buy piers. I wanted to buy cabins. Whoops. But we have the ability, because we have the early TNT, because the floater might be somewhere else, and because we have the early canoe option check, we can skip all those dungeons for now. This means the volcano is a much nicer dungeon to check as early as possible. And the reason for that is in vanilla Final Fantasy 1, there's nothing in the volcano. The treasures there, they're not terrible, but if you do Ice Cave instead of Volcano, and the difficulty level is about the same between the two dungeons, Ice Cave has much trollier, like, regular enemies, there's, like, sorcerers and things, but the Volcano has a much more difficult boss. Carry is a lot harder at that stage in the game than most of the enemies in the Ice Cave. It's kind of a wash which of the two you do first. But if you do the Ice Cave first, you get the floater, which gives you the airship, which gives you access to so many treasures and dungeons and things. But also, before you do either, you can go to Castle Ordeals and get some good equipment. And up there you can get, there's an ice sword up there you can put to use immediately. There's a healing staff, Zeus gauntlets, that kind of thing. The Zeus gauntlets kind of take the edge off of the Ice Cave quite a bit. I don't know why I'm fighting these. These are terrible to fight. So doing the Ice Cave first makes more sense to me. The volcano is you can't skip the volcano. It's an obligatory dungeon because it has a fiend at the end. You have to kill the 4 fiends to win the game. But the treasure in there is nowhere near as good as Castle Ordeals or the stuff you can get shortly after getting your airship. Once you get the airship, you're very close to being able to go. You can immediately go to the waterfall. You can go loot all the stuff in Cardia Islands. You have access to shops in the northern continent. Just your equipment options are so much better than the stuff like there's a giant sword in the volcano. There's flame armor in the volcano, which is probably the best treasure in there. But there's like also a wooden staff. There's cloth armor. There's so many chests in there. There's like 30 chests, and almost none of them are good. It's like iron and silver equipment, which you're never gonna, you don't need it. So going to the volcano at the proper time in the story is kind of a chump strat. There is a reason to go to the volcano in vanilla FF1, which I'll talk about when I get there. It's kind of a newer speedrunning strat that was developed that I actually really like. But I personally still don't think I'll do it in vanilla runs because I don't want to go to the volcano. However, in Randomizer, because the volcano has so many treasures, you're almost guaranteed to find something great. Not only are you guaranteed to find something like really useful as far as equipment goes, but chances are good that one of your plot progression items are in there. The next plot progression item we want is the floater. So we're going to go to these couple of towns, but then we're going to head over to the volcano and see what we can see there. It's also a really good place to get experience this early in the game. What do we have? Level 2 Saber. Saber is only cast on himself, and that's not going to be useful, unfortunately. It's a good spell, it works now, but wow, I just can't catch a break on white magic. What do we have here? Garbo. And what do we have here? More Garbo. And I don't have enough money to buy those silver bracelets I saw. Alright, I guess we're going to Crescent Lake. And hopefully, I mean, bringing the white mage is a gamble. I typically don't like white mages in vanilla because I think healing is kind of silly. It's much better to mitigate damage in vanilla Final Fantasy 1. Put 2 fighters in your party, or even a fighter and a red mage, and pretty much damage through all of the early game is going to be negligible because you can wear heavy armor, and then damage in the late game, by the time you're up against really powerful magics, you'll have ribbons. there's just not a lot of scary damage in Final Fantasy, and the monsters that do give out silly amounts of damage, we should be able to burn this fight up. As long as Sam doesn't get killed. The fights that do put out really silly damage, they're quick fights. Win or lose, they're going to be over real fast. And Sam is dead, so now we have to run from this fight. Like the fiends and things like that. Like if you can't kill Chaos in a couple of rounds, you're not going to be able to kill Chaos. Healing is not going to help you. It's not like a later Final Fantasy game where you want to have a character casting heal magic every round. Even if that were a great strategy, I mean, you can't revive people during combat. You can't cure petrification during combat. And we're gonna wipe. No, we're not, because she's got that opal bracelet, so she'll be fine. She's by far has our best armor in the game right now. We actually should switch her and Pyle around, but I want to keep her in the back rank to cast the life spell, I think. Which we're gonna do here instead of going to the clinic once I make it through the town. So all of the White Mage's really useful spells, like Heal 3, Cure 4, the problem is, you get them so late in the game that you don't have enough charges to really put them to good use. We got Tents. Tents are good. Most of your healing is going to come from potions through the whole game, and there's just no way around it. Ooh, that's an expensive gold bracelet. What kind of armor did I get? Chain. I'm going to buy him that iron armor, actually. Yeah, he'd have something... You know, we can sell this opal gauntlet, too, if we want. If there's magic up here we really need to buy, we'll sell that opal gauntlet, I think. Level 6, life 2, but this is the gamble of the White Mage. We're still not getting anything at a low enough level for it to be useful. I mean, that's better than a level 8 life 2. Oh, here we go. I mean, level 7 nuke. Oh, that's the wrong level for fast, bro. That's not the level you want to see fast on, let me tell you, man. So, kind of a wash with magic. Yeah, we got really low level life and lit 3, but we've got no good warp or exit. Life 2 is out of reach. We might still get level 1 or 2 fade, which is a white magic spell. But if we don't, this White Mage is going to be dead weight. Because, yeah, we've got this low level life, but that's not super useful. Like, I still prefer to just not die, you know what I mean? I guess we just buy a bunch of tents now. And then see if we can get to the treasure room in the volcano. Cannot afford more tents. Okay, level 7 and we're going to the volcano. Do I want to kill a giant? I don't want to kill anything when we get to the volcano. I have one house, I think, so we can go in. The really scary thing in the volcano are the fires, which is a monster, not like, oh, I'm on fire. Like, there's a monster called Fire that's kind of scary, because they can, ugh. I'm actually going to reset that, I think. Whoop. There we go. That grinding sound you heard is just my keyboard tray sliding in and out of my desk. Don't worry about that. That's fine. You don't need to concern yourself with the grinding. We're gonna run from this, but because I have a house, I can go in there, use up some of these lit 3 charges. Then I can, you know, go this way. Is correct. Come back out and use the house to restore those charges. So I actually get 2 shots at this volcano as far as charges are concerned. So the Caribbees here they poison and they've got a couple different ways to stunlock us. I mean, Zap's not going to be super useful, let's be honest. Not when it shares a spell charge with our most powerful attack spell. Like, why cast Zap when we can just cast Lit 3, you know? We're going to use up all these Pures before we use our pure spell, I believe. Oh, we never did go back to Canaria to get, what was it, Ice 3, I think is a level 3 spell, which is also very useful.
Shoutouts to Jasu Bakuhatsu, who sponsored this video, and to everybody who makes this channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.